Isn't that the great day of the year? That's my favorite. So I'm going to be talking about digital preservation management tools. The previous year I talked about one of them, which is the track review tool, and that's moved along, and the year before it was a twinkle in the eye. So these tools come out of the DPM workshop. We've been developing some of them since the very beginning, which was in 2003. And the management tool side, we've been hearing things like human-involved workflows and using your data to improve accessioning and your processing. This is where we are. This is sort of like, we need to be using data to capture and improve ourselves, and we have not been good data curators in our field. Our data is missing, and so some of these projects are about just those things. So, this is the what the page will look like. You'll see if you come over to Bellflower that it's on a test site at MIT, and by the end of January it will be up. And it has, so as an archivist, I feel compelled to provide more context than you might want. So all the pages are very, very densely text-oriented. Eventually they'll have the diagrams that I also love on them. What I'll be talking about today is sort of some of the background. These consolidate a lot of effort, and the effort, version 1 of the tool took place when I was at Cornell, version 2 took place when I was at ICPSR, version 3 is now underway in MIT. And that reinforcing of create a model document and apply it wherever you are is my operational mode. And then we have the DPM workshop, and people come and extend that use. So these are sort of tested. It's a back and forth of all of what we do has to evolve, and these are, when we think management tool, it's framework, some form of help so that everybody doesn't have to start from scratch. We're all trying to do the same things. We're all trying to demonstrate good practice. So how can we help people to do that? Let's see, there's a tools or techniques. I remember the first time that I heard tool and I clicked and it was a PDF document. I'm like, tool, So we no longer have to surprise people by emphasizing the organizational part. You can have the best technology in the world, and if the humans aren't ready and willing, it's not going to go anywhere. And that's when we talk about organizational capacity. That's what we're talking about building. It's also about encouraging common practice. Not only should we not start from scratch, but we should be able to say, here's mine, and let's look at yours, and they don't look absolutely different from each other. The various policies and procedures and plans. And of course, anybody who's attended the DPM workshop, did Seeker, or ever had a conversation with me will know that I'm going to talk about the 5 stages. So for each of the tools, it talks about your organizational expectation about when you might do these things. Organizations are beating themselves up trying to do things too early or waiting too long and not benefiting from some of the things that they can do. This is the list. So the first easiest thing to do is adopt a set of principles that are standards-based. You don't have to pick one particular set, so we'll see how that looks. Develop a high-level policy framework. There's a model document for that with some examples. Digital content reviews. I call it high-level inventory. It's characterizing your current and anticipated content. I call them buckets, but people maybe change it to circles. But it's sort of like a landscape diagram of where you are. If you don't have that, it's really hard to do preservation planning. The person's going to say to you, how much storage do you need? And you're going to go, And digital content management workflows, some of what Kari was talking about, and Erica has to do with these sort of, how do we get things through and what does that documentation look like? So, and then disaster preparedness for digital content. Most of the time, people have physical collections of disaster preparedness in place, but not the digital, so there's model documents for extending that. And then, of course, the track review tool and some things that are going to come along with that. This is a very tiny screenshot of, again, a very contextualized Nancy page of what it would look like. But for each tool, it says, what are we trying to do with this thing? What is the scope? What's in and out of scope is really important. This thing is not trying to help you do X, so don't look for it to do that. Of course, the 5 stages and where you might be on that. And watch this space. It's going to go out as a management tool menu link, very hidden, on the DPM workshop website, so that people can just see what they can do with it, and hopefully they benefit from it. And that's it for me, so if you're interested, come to Bellflower. It's over there somewhere.